we're gonna go on to the next one, which is our I like the might be a little bit nuanced. Classify this as the Sam Bankman-Fried Award. So, and this is
Whoever
for
that guy is.
everybody knows who Sam Bankman-Fried is. All right,
All
so
right, fair
he
enough.
is he's a former billionaire. He was just extradited from I believe the uh, Bahamas. But this was the founder and CEO of the cryptocurrency exchange FTX, and he was basically somebody who was hailed as this kind of this new millennial genius, and we found out that he was basically a fraud when he was out there. So this is somebody who we found that who got exposed this year, who we thought had the opportunity to showed himself as a boxing savant or a genius at some level, and believed he got exposed this year. And for me, I hate to do this, but my SBF award goes to no other than Teofimo Lopez.
Oh man.
Uh, I'm sorry. I thought I after his win, well, after he knocked out Comey, and after his beautiful boxing job against Lomachenko, I thought that this guy was gonna be on the pound for pound list for the next 10 years. He's only 25 years old. Um, he has not looked. His last fight was terrible. He really probably lost the fight. Um, his fight before that, he did get a knockout, but didn't look good. I was making excuses when Boston was, maybe had some questions about his power and his prowess. But I think because of his mental state, and boxing is 75% mental. And once you lose that, when you think about Mike Tyson, even with all of his physical, as soon as I unfreeze, even with all of his physical things, mentally, once he didn't have that advantage over that, he was never the same boxer. And I just don't. At 140 pounds, I don't know how many people I would have him be favored against at this point. I just don't see it. I don't see the confidence. I don't see the and he was doing just mentally just really dumb stuff. Like to keep getting caught with a simple check right hook when you were like jumping in. I mean, this guy was constantly, and this was somebody who had actually had any kind of power. This guy would have been laying face down on the canvas, and he had a corner that does not give him any kind of good advice. They don't make any adjustments between there. So I think that for somebody who I thought who could challenge for the pound for pound title, I think he gets my my SBF award. Boston, who you think got exposed this year as somebody who was on the incline, or somebody that we thought was there, but really got exposed in the ring?
Man, you know what? I would have loved to have given this a little bit more thought, because I don't know that this is the best answer. But I tell you and again, we're looking at the whole year here. You're right. It's tough to not suffer from recency bias. But I think I may be suffering for a little bit of recency bias. I'm gonna go with Zach Parker as my SBF award winner. This was a guy that had the lottery ticket in his hand. He had that ticket punched to go ahead and make more money than he's ever seen in his entire life. I kept hearing all this stuff about it. Went on to YouTube.
That's a great choice, man.
Went on to YouTube and watched this motherfucker fight, man. He's slick. He's got power in both hands. He's an athlete. He's big for the division. All that, and he goes in there and he shits the bed against a C+ level guy in John motherfucking Ryder. And make no mistake about it, I don't doubt that Zach Parker hand was hurt in that fight.
It wasn't.
I know this. if that fight had continued, he was going to get his ass kicked by Gorilla John Ryder. And he didn't want that to happen.
You convinced the panelists that this was a legitimate challenge. Like, God, don't sleep on him. And then when I saw that fight, I was like,
complete letdown.
But no, he's a fraud. Like if you watch that last round before he went to the corner and told him that he couldn't go, it was like he was actually winning that fight. But you
thought he was winning that fight?
The judges did too. I mean,
we know that's not always the best indicator.
That's not. But what happened
on a Queensberry card in the kid's backyard? John Ryder was about to kick his ass.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you could see the tide turning. And the first moment of adversity that he experienced, this guy crumbled.
I'm out of here. Fuck that. I'm not getting beat up in front of my friends and family. Right. And the question I asked people is this, right? If Zach Parker had knocked John Ryder down 2 or 3 times in that fight, and he's going into the 5th round up with 3 10-8 rounds in his back pocket, and he breaks his hand, does he still quit in that fight? And I think the answer to me is 110% no. I was a kid that, was sold a bill. When I say sold a bill of goods, I believe that his promoter and the people around him built him up to be something that he wasn't, right? He was fighting blown up 154 and 160 pounders his whole career. He goes in there against his first legitimate opponent in his entire career, and he hit John Ryder with good shots. And John Ryder just looked at this kid like, that's all you got?
And
early, his confidence, that's why it was crushed. You could, like you said, you could see it. You could see it in his body language and in his face. It was an oh shit moment that happened in that fight. And he was out of there. He said, fuck it.
Yeah, like I don't really see how he recovers from this.
I don't want to hear anything about Zach Parker ever again in my entire fucking life. I don't think he does recover. I don't think we ever hear from Zach Parker again.
All right. The casual one. Who gets your SBF?
Man, it's a tie for me. The first one, it's not well for a championship fight, but Chris Colbert.
Oh,
no. Okay. I'm not mad at that.
Chris Colbert, man. The way he talked shit, the way he was carrying himself, man, the way he was like, what's his nickname?
I don't know. He's changed it. It was Lil B Hop. No, then he changed it to Prime Time.
Yeah, Prime. And then look, man, Deion Sanders giving them props and everybody giving them props, man. And the way fucking Hector Garcia whooped his ass, man. He need not talk shit for a long time. And then, but he came right back talking shit. So I'm like, man, this dude don't learn. You know what I'm saying? So he's get one, and the other half is Oscar Valdez. I give it to Oscar Valdez because you know what I'm saying. Before Shakur, it was Team Eddie Reynoso. Can't anybody under that team with champion? You know what I'm saying, or whatever.
He should get the award.
And Shakur whooped his ass.
Eddie Reynoso is not on anybody's list. We probably should have.
Man, Eddie Reynoso was getting trainer of the year over everybody.
He took a lot of L's this year.
He got exposed.
Eddie Reynoso took a lot of L's this
year. His fighters don't have in-fight changes. Nothing.
That Chris Colbert shit, Randy, I got pushed back on the Chris Colbert shit a little bit.
I'm not mad at it.
Hector Luis Garcia is a guy who I believe was either a silver or an Olympic gold medalist. And Chris Colbert, he's gigantic for 130 pounds. Chris Colbert took that fight. No, Garcia was a late replacement, right? Because he was supposed to fight Cuello.
Yep.
You're right. He was supposed to fight Puello. Puello pulls out with an injury. Oddly enough, I believe that was a WBO fight. I wonder if they asked Puello for his injury report card. But yeah, I mean, Colbert is a prospect in my eyes, and he took on this guy in Ramirez.
Prospect based off, I guess, based off his mouth and the way he promoted himself.
Yeah, the guy can fight. Let's not act like Chris Colbert can't fight, man.
Exposed.
I think he got exposed.
When you get beat by a guy who's got more experience than you, Hector Luis Garcia, I'd be willing to bet, has boxed probably twice as many rounds in his life that Chris Colbert has. He is huge. He's gigantic for 130 pounds. As you could see from that weigh-in, he looks bigger than Tank. And he went in there and took that fight. And he got that fight on like a week's notice. Colbert had no time to prepare for him. And he went in there and he lost a tough competitive fight. I don't know that qualifies as being exposed, like, or making you fraudulent. Like, the kid went into that fight with, what do you have, 18 fights? 18 pro fights or some shit like that? Like, yeah, I don't know about that.
He had 16 going into that fight.
16 pro fights. And they takes an Olympian on a week's notice.
Yeah, but he didn't he got dominated. Did you see the score to the fight?
Yeah, I watched the fight, man. I watched the fight.
So it was like for you to be a top level fighter and for you to get beat by basically 11 rounds. So he got beat basically 11 rounds to 1. I think that that's being exposed. Like, you can't even be competitive when you had a full training camp. It wasn't like this was like 115 to 114. He got beat by scores of like, what were the scores? I was just looking at them. 119 to 108, 118 to 109, 118 to 109. I mean, those, like, that's a
he got beat.
That's an ass whooping, bro. Like, if that would have happened to any other champion, we would easily say that champion got exposed.
Well, again, to be clear, I don't know that Colbert. I don't know. Was he a champ? He wasn't a champion. Did he have like a Reggie belt?
Like a top 10 by that time.
He was the interim champion.
Hector only had 18 fights when he fought him.
Well, he had less than that, right? He has 16 fights going into the Tank fight.
Nah, he got 20 fights going into the Tank fight. He got
Luis Garcia.
He got 3 no contest. He's 19.
He's 16-0, Randy. With 10
3 no contests.
I don't see no con. Oh, okay. I'm looking at that's what the draws would be. So,
that is.
You're right. He does.
How the hell this nigga got 3 no con? Those are all in the Dominican Republic.
That seems fishy.
Hotel.
But all right, let's
Hotel Aragua, Santo Domingo. Don't fight there.
All right, so we want to thank y'all for rocking with us in this year 2022. We've been doing this for a little bit now, but we hope that y'all will rock with us even further in 2023. Make sure that you do like and subscribe. We're going to come up with some fresh new content up for this new year. We got some ideas for some new and exciting segments, and we love the feedback that you give for all the comments. We read the comments, trust and believe that, and keep those comments coming in, and they actually help us put together a better show. And with that said, we want to sign off for 2022. This is your man Professor Nim signing off for the Casual Rand and Boston Jared.
Happy New Year, everybody! All our listeners out there, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, and keep it popping with the pundits of pugilism. Peace out.